Hey, welcome back to Tell Me Why. The last episode is almost gonna be out, but I figured we probably should finish reading the storybook before then, so let's keep going. We don't have that many left, do we? Hopefully not. So last time, I thought I read this one already, but I don't think it's similar to the previous one, but it's a continuation. So no, I haven't read this yet. Let's begin here. The princess makes new friends. Once upon a time, in an ancient and deep forest, there lived a wise princess in a big wooden house. She had been living alone just fine for a very long time, until the day she noticed food and small items were disappearing from her house. The thefts went on and on until the day her last cake, which had been made with the last of her eggs, the last of her fruit, the last of her nuts, and the last of her flour. Well, that last cake was stolen too. And all she found at the scene of the crime were 2 trails of tiny feet in the spilled flour, leading to a hidden hatch in the floorboards. The princess did not try to open the hatch, nor did she try to break it. She was too tired and too hungry. All she could do was cry in silence, alone in the big wooden house, hidden in the ancient and deep forest. She cried for a long time, until evening arrived, and then she cried some more. Suddenly, a tiny voice came from under the house. "What is that noise you make?" it asked. "We do not like it, not one bit." "I'm crying because you two are mean to me, whoever you are. You stole all the food I had, and I will starve before the end of this long and cold winter." The hatch opened just a peep, revealing 2 frowning faces peering out from the darkness of their hideout. "But we're hungry too," said the second creature. "We have been hiding in this cave for a long time, and now the winter is upon us, and we need food." The princess dried her eyes and smiled at the 2 goblins. "If we were friends, we could share the cake you stole from me." The 2 thieves spat and smirked. "A friend? What is that?" The princess frowned, for she realized that the 2 tiny thieves were as lonely as she was. "A friend is someone you love and care for, someone you would never hurt." "We never hurt each other, and we care for each other," said the goblins at the same time. "Does that mean that we're friends?" "Yes, that's exactly it." "And if we were friends, you would not hurt us?" "Of course not. Friends trust each other." The goblins shook their little heads. "We trust no one, for no one trusts us." Their words made the princess cry again, for now she understood that the 2 creatures were not only as lonely as she was, here, in the big wooden house, but they had been lonely since they were born. "You're making that noise again," frowned the goblins. "Please stop that, for it makes us feel unhappy. Are you a witch?" "Oh, it's crying. Is this some sort of magic?" "It makes you unhappy because we are friends," said the princess. "But we don't know you, and you're not like us." "Sometimes, friendship comes right away, even between people who are very different." "Does it mean we can't steal from you anymore?" "Yes." "But that's what we do." "We are the crafty goblins who live under your house." "Well, then, maybe we could arrange something." "Is that what friends do?" "Yes, I believe they do." And this is how the princess met the crafty goblins, and how they became friends. Since this whole book is supposed to be foreshadowing things, and the fact that the princess met the goblins, but she didn't give birth to them, some of you are saying that, hey, maybe Tyler and Alyson are adopted. But now that we've seen the end of episode 2 with the letters and all, that seems a bit unlikely because there's a father and we're trying to get child support from him. And, well, yeah, Marianne would know that she was pregnant, right? She was. She became pregnant after she came to Delos Crossing. Okay, so now we've read... Yes, let's go with the big frog is punished, and then we got this little section here pretty much. Yeah, we can do all of them. No, we don't even have that many. We did the last 3 already. So these 5, really. The big frog is punished. Oops. Once upon a time, in an ancient and deep forest, there lived a big frog in a small pond. She was no ordinary frog, for she had been given the gift of speech when she saved the princess from the mad hunter. From the morning to the evening, she did everything the other frogs did, except that she knew how to speak. Everybody in the forest could hear her loud voice, and everybody was unhappy with that, because she never stopped babbling. She babbled about the too hot sun and the too deep pond, about the rain to come, and all the delicious flies she had eaten. In the beginning episode recap in episode 2, the frog was listed as one of our friends, but who does she correspond to? Across the forest, all the creatures tolerated the endless noise until one day they could not deal with it anymore. They asked the big frog to quiet down. "I can't! said the big frog. "This is what I do. Before the princess kissed me, I croaked all day long, and you all like that I did. This is the same, except you can understand what I say, and now you find it irritating. But I can't change what I am, can I? Could you?" All the creatures agreed that she was right, and that it was rude of them to ask the big frog to stop doing what she had always done. Remember how last time we talked about how it's a little bit not or going against the stereotype that the frog being kissed by the princess is female? And now it's saying, "I can't change what I am. All that's changed is your perception of me." Which again might be a reference to Tyler coming out as trans. So they returned to their parts of the forest and let the big frog do what frogs have always done. Jumping and talking some more about the too hot sun and the too deep pond, about the rain to come and the delicious flies they have eaten. And for a time, it was alright. But in the forest, word travels fast, and everyone has a story to tell. The big frog, being who she was, gossiped and gossiped about everything she overheard. She told the bees that old bear had stolen their precious honey 2 years ago. And she told the beavers that the eagles had stolen their precious wood. She told the deer who had killed her fawn, and she told the tall spruce who had carved a cuss word in its bark. Once again, everyone in the forest asked the big frog to keep quiet, for now everyone had a grudge against everyone else. But once again, the big frog would not listen. "When I was just a frog, you never paid attention to me, and nobody helped me when the mad hunter hunted me for sport. This is only a right for a wrong, and I won't stop talking." The fuss went on, and the noise was so loud that the Ice King himself awoke and decided to see what was going on. "Silence!" bellowed the king, and even the big frog stopped babbling. Once the forest was quiet again, the Ice King patiently listened to what each and every animal of the forest had to say, until finally he made his mind. "Big frog, you have abused the gift of speech, for you have only used it to get revenge. Despite knowing that words can be hurtful, you threw them around without caution, and you caused too much trouble." The big frog opened her mouth to protest, but the Ice King raised his finger before she could say another word. "Since you received the gift of speech for a good deed, I would not dare to take it away from you. So, here is your punishment. I will tell you the biggest of my secrets. It is a secret so powerful and so dangerous that it will frighten you. But if you ever reveal it to anyone..." The Ice King bent down and whispered such potent words in the big frog's ear that the poor creature started to tremble. "Now, go on about your business, all of you, and try to forget what the big frog told you, for you are all living in the forest, and you have nowhere else to go." And this is how the big frog irritated the Ice King, and how she was punished. Oh, you can't say that and not tell me what the Ice King's secret is. "For you are all living in the forest, and you have nowhere else to go." Kinda gives me the impression that the forest, Delos Crossing, is a place where if you could be somewhere else, you would not choose to be here. Yeah. Which, yeah, the younger kids definitely think so. That's why everyone wants to move to Juneau. But the older kids? I'm not so sure. OA must mean that Tyler and Alyson wrote these ones. By the way, I was on the Steam forums for the game, and I saw that somebody from Alaska was like, in the game they make it sound like everybody wants to go to Juneau, but that's not the case at all. So, things that you wouldn't know unless if you're Alaskan. The goblins saved the old beaver. Once upon a time, in a deep and ancient forest, winter gave way to spring in a sudden burst of warm air that melted all the snow and all the ice all at once. The river swelled until it could no longer hold all the water in, and then it spilled out to create new rivers in places where no one was expecting them. The whole of the forest went into a panic, looking for shelter from the rising waters. The very old beaver had been working on her dam when one of those new rivers came rushing right at her. She screeched and squealed, but whatever direction she ran, more water appeared. She was caught in the flooding, and though she had once been an excellent swimmer, age had taken its toll, and so the raging water carried her off at a speed she couldn't control. "Help!" she called. The crafty goblins had been running back to their cave under the big wooden house when they heard the beaver's cries. "We have to help the beaver," one goblin said. "You go one way, and I'll go the other." They ran, keeping in touch with the gift of voice. Finally, one of them spotted her, twisting and tumbling into the river. But she was on the opposite side of the river, and the goblin could not reach her. "Brother!" the sister goblin called out through the gift of voice. I see her, but I can't get her. Maybe you can? I'll try. The goblin guided her brother so that he would hit the river in just the right spot to reach the beaver. The plan worked, and soon the second goblin appeared in just the right spot. Beaver! He shouted, holding out a branch. Grab a hold of this! The beaver grabbed it, but in her panic, she pulled in the goblin too. No! Cried his sister. She ran as hard as her legs could go, managing to outpace the river and get ahead of the beaver and her brother. Searching for some means of getting them out, she spied a low-hanging branch. They'd zip by it quickly, but if they were fast enough... Brother! She cried out through the gift. You're coming up on a low-hanging branch. You'll zip by it quickly, but if you're fast enough... Got it! Said her brother. And then he said to the beaver, Get ready to grab a hold of a low-hanging branch. We're gonna zip by quickly, but if we're fast enough... Suddenly, they were right in front of it and reached out, snagging hold. Though the water beat against them, trying to shake them loose, they pulled themselves along the branch, back to dry land. Is that a feature of what makes a fairy tale? Constantly repeating phrases. That does seem to be a thing. When they were all safe, the very old beaver thanked the goblins. But how? She asked. Did you know just where to find me? And how did you know that branch was coming? The goblins shared a secret smile. Just lucky, I guess, they said. And that is how the goblins saved the very old beaver from the flooding river, and how she never knew how they did it. I wonder if that's really Carol, Eddie's mom. But no, it can't be, right? Because... Well, it could be, because she was still around when they were born. Yeah. These are not in chronological order then, right? Because the beaver's still alive here, but we already read the one about how she passed away much earlier. Like here. One more. Oh, that was fast. The goblins meet the ice troll. Once upon a time, in an ancient and deep forest, the crafty goblins were awake long after they should have been asleep. One goblin said to the other, Let's go explore the forest. Now, the goblins were not in the habit of exploring the forest late at night, and they did not know what they would find, but this did not scare them off. They crept out of their beds, bundled up, and went exploring. It was dark. The light of the moon was just enough to keep them from walking into trees, but they could not see more than 15 feet in front of them. Every time a twig snapped, on branches or branches rattled, they considered turning back, but they didn't. And so, they had ventured far beyond the house into a part of the forest they were not familiar with. When they realized the snapping of twigs and rattling of branches had become steady, something was following them. They turned to run, but a hulking figure emerged from the darkness, sweeping them up with a giant hand and stuffing them into a burlap sack. The goblins wiggled and cried out, but the sack remained shut as their captors stomped through the forest, singing, Whittle-diddle-dum, whittle-diddle-dee, in this bag's a meal for me. After a lot of thumping and thudding, the bag opened, and the goblins were dumped into a giant iron pot full of warming water. A huge troll stood overhead, grinning down at them through long, bushy white eyebrows. I am the ice troll, and you are my dinner. He ready to cook the goblins, singing, Whittle-diddle-dum, dum-dee-dee, there's soon to be a soup for me. Finishing his ditty, he bent over to stoke the fire beneath the pot and let out a loud noise of pain, rubbing a spot on his back that always ached. The troll stood painfully and walked over to a stone shelf where he began to chop potatoes. One of the goblins had an idea. She whispered to her brother, Follow my lead. The goblin stretched out in the water, floating and letting out sighs of contentment. Ah, said one of the goblins. This is the most relaxed I've ever been. My body feels so good. I think I could run 100 miles without stopping, said the second. The troll peered at them. They weren't supposed to be happy about being in the cookpot, but they certainly looked like they were. Troll, said the goblins, if your back is hurting, you should try sitting in the water. Just for a little bit, before it gets too hot. The troll stomped over. But if I take you out, then you will escape, and there would be no soup for me. Put us back in the sack, suggested the goblins. Then we can't run away. They are crafty. This made sense to the troll. The spot on his back that always ached was still bothering him, and the goblins couldn't go anywhere if they were trapped. So he stuffed the goblins back into the sack and climbed into the soup pot. He stretched out and let a sigh of contentment. Meanwhile, the goblins threw themselves around in the sack until it began to swing. The troll was so relaxed, he didn't even notice. The bag dropped onto the shelf, where the troll had been chopping potatoes, and the goblins pushed it up against the edge of the troll's knife, sawing a hole. Then they made a break for it. The troll finally noticed what they were doing and roared out in anger, but he was so relaxed that when he tried to chase them, he tumbled out of the cookpot and into the flames, catching his bushy eyebrows on fire. The goblins ran and ran and ran and ran as fast as they could through the ancient and deep forest until they were back in their cave and safe in their beds. They vowed never to venture out into the ancient and deep forest late at night again, for they did not think they'd get so lucky as to trick the ice troll twice. And that is the story of how the crafty goblins met the ice troll and why they never did again. They are crafty. They always get into all sorts of situations, but at the end of the day, they make it out okay. Whoa, that is quite a size difference. Oh my goodness. Wow. Some of the stories, the meanings are a lot more obvious. Like, the ones that we know the characters. The moose, the pelican, the princess, the goblins. Actually, this story is interesting because there has been some additions, some edits. I wonder if that's really a mistake or... Because previously, we didn't really have that, right? Oh, no, some of them did. How often do they happen? Yeah, see, these entire stories are okay. But then the pelican and the moose one had edits. The bear one has an edit. What? Oh, that actually seems kind of suspicious then, because it's of the exact characters that we were looking at. The bear, the pelican, the moose. Oh. Yeah, seriously, it's just those three. Just those three stories. We'll start from the Mad Hunter too. Oh, but that's something you never would have noticed if you were reading like this. Yeah, that is weird because when you type it up, if there was a mistake, you would have corrected it before you printed it and put it on. So this implies that there was something here originally, but at the time it was put down, it was right. They printed it out, they cut it, they glued it on, it was right. And then at some point, certain sections became not right. And that's why they made some edits. But the amount of edits they have here, it's only a few lines. It's hard to imagine that that would change the story that much. Some of these are obvious, yeah, for people that we know, but a lot of them, mangy, muskrat, ice troll, even the Ice King, who's appeared so many times, not as clear. And the Mad Hunter, we never really got a proper ending for him too. He got his hand back. And that's all we know. Okay, well, let's take some time to look around at the stuff I missed too.
$ is donate or sell, and trash can is, well, trash. By the way, I cleared out most of the stuff from the bathroom this morning, but I left you the toilet.
How very generous of you.
Thanks. Last time, I didn't finish looking over here. Yeah.
You're doing a great job.
Thanks?
Ancient appliances, you are staying here. Although, that oven looks in okay enough shape.
No way. We are not moving the oven.
Have you guys tried? It's surprisingly heavy. Recipe: dump in cake. Cherries, crushed pineapple, chopped walnuts, crossed out chocolate chips. They were making a cake here. Every day, please, Mom. Yeah, just looking around. It really did seem like a happy family. Except for the times during Tyler's diary when he was like, "Oh, Mom said no, I couldn't join the hockey team." Stuff like that. So I'm pretty sure we looked at most things in the bottom floor already, but we could have gone up which I didn't get a chance to last time.
Everywhere I look, there's just stuff, and more stuff.
Marianne the magpie.
Here we go.
And what do you know? More stuff.
What a surprise.
5 little monkeys jumping on the bed. Hey, Tyler. How does 5 little monkeys go again? 5 little monkeys jumping on the bed. One fell down and bumped his head.
Mama called the doctor. The doctor said, no more monkeys jumping on the bed.
No more monkeys jumping on the bed.
Or out of a tree.
Don't say that. Mama's gonna be so mad you had to go to the hospital.
Oh my god.
She worries way too much about what people think.
Everything okay up there?
Yeah.
When's Mom coming
She'll
home?
be here soon. Is anyone hungry?
No, I'm okay. Thank you.
You scared me to death when you fell out of that tree. I cried most of the way to Tessa's house.
It was kind of exciting going to the hospital, but the part after that with Marianne, that was less fun.
I remember the look that Tessa gave her when she finally came home. If looks could kill, right?
Yeah, and Marianne was a mess.
So that's something that probably would contribute to Tessa thinking, hey, maybe she's not really fit to take care of these children. We heard about the tree incident last time. It's that tree outside the house. Hey, Tyler boy.
But soft, what light through yonder... Oh, wait, it's just you.
Clever. Clever. There's a paper plane stuck in the ceiling light.
Maybe it has a secret message from our past selves. Find something to knock it down.
I could use that ball. Okay, let's see if I can still do this.
$5 says you miss. Ow!
Direct hit.
I win, pay up.
Oh, shut up.
You wanna give me the ball? I still gotta get that. Hey, what? Are you saying because I hit Tyler, I can't get that now? Really? You wouldn't be so cruel, would you? Is there another ball around here?
Baloney. Guess who I found? Baloney.
Alley Belly Baloney? Why, yes. I would love to have a tea party with you. Again. For the 3rd time today.
We were some bored children.
We should gather up all our old toys and give them to charity.
What's that?
I said we should give our old toys to charity.
Oh, good idea. Except for maybe 1 or 2?
Softy.
What did Tyler do with the ball? Hand it over.
Hey, Tyler.
Hay's for horses, Allison.
It drove me so crazy when Marianne said that.
I'll come back and get you.
Okay, let's see if I can still do this.
$5 says you miss.
Ooh, nice. We'll go down and get that. Or you can get it.
Oh my god. Wow. This is unreal.
What is it?
Allison's, big fat loser.
You're no better at insults than you were at 11.
Why mess with perfection?
That's rude.
Those paddles are pretty cool.
Dibs.
How did it even get up there? That's crazy. I wonder if we can pick up that paper if we go down.
Hey, did you finish packing upstairs?
Nope. There's way too much junk to sort through.
I just want to look at the airplane, that's all. But that's kind of horrible that they wouldn't let you have a chance at it if you hit Tyler instead. Cause come on, knowing that Allison's a big fat loser, that's important world building, story lore information. Oh, he took off the sticky. Alright.
will this ever stop feeling so weird?
It's called nostalgia, mixed with a lot of unwanted feelings. It's so dark. A treasure map? Congratulations, you found the map that will lead you on with no mishap. Follow my trails of twinkling stones, and perchance you'll escape the unknown. Nice rhyme.
So long, trusty bunk beds.
There's a lot of character in this room. I'm not a decoration person, so my room has like, well, not that many posters. And not that many things just lying around. We're keeping this. To Ollie from Alyson. Others may not understand the laughs we have together and the love we share for each other, but I know whatever happens, every goblin has a twin. I love you. Happy Siblings Day. Aww. The first letter of each line spells Ollie. Cute. Thank God they at least had each other. It's a very bare minimum. Dearest Ollie, how are you? I'm in the boathouse and everything is going very well. I am writing this letter to formally invite you to my tea party. I will prepare tea and cookies, and you can meet my dearest friend Baloney, who I know you will love. Please come this afternoon at 4 p.m. Kind regards, Alyson. Baloney. Dear Alyson, thanks so much for the invitation. Everything is good here too. No beavers in sight though. I will be there at 4:15 p.m. because I need to make sure to feed the birds or Mom will go crazy. See you soon, Sir Ollie. Sorry guys, even 10 years later, we never managed to feed the birds. They never accounted for people taking the bird feed box, but not putting it in the house. So now that box has just disappeared into thin air. It's a little bit sad.
So, you gonna come back down to help me, or what?
Yeah, I think I finished looking around now. Alright, cool. Even though I didn't want to clean up the junk, I came back for it anyway. Typical.
Hun, this guy is very motivated, but I know he's looking at other properties. And it's not like you've had people breaking down the door.
I appreciate that, but we've kinda got a lot going on over here.
Did I mention it would be an all-cash offer?
Out of curiosity, let's try rejecting it. See if the argument doesn't happen. I get the feeling it'll happen anyway.
It's not the right time.
A cash offer, Alyson.
I'm sorry, but it'll be a total mess. I don't want to waste anyone's time.
Okay, well, you tell me when you're ready.
Well, I think I just made Tina's shit list.
I know this is a DONTNOD game and people expect there to be consequences and stuff, but tell me Wise actually never said that, hey...
What?
Oh, Alyson. It's never said that your choices have consequences. So maybe this doesn't really mean anything in the
Looks like you
end.
found a nice spot.
We've been here before, right? So, Tina?
Tina West, our realtor.
Oh, that Tina. What'd she need?
She had someone who wanted to see the house, but he could only come by day after tomorrow.
And you told her no?
Yeah. We need more time than that, to get things cleaned up and,
Thanks. But what if it's the only call we get?
And I guess we just grow old and lose our minds in that fucking house.
Sounds like a plan. So, before Tina called, we were talking?
Yeah?
I'm not happy your foster father fucked up.
Oh, it's still gonna get into
Because
that.
you sure sounded like
He
it.
hid information about Marianne.
I know! You just don't have to rub it in.
I get it. You're always gonna side with him over me.
Come on, that's not fair.
Then why do you keep doing it?
This town, these people, they're just memories to you. But it's my home, Tyler. My friends, my family. And as much as I want answers, I'd rather not lay waste to my entire life to get them.
I didn't come here to ruin your life, Alyson. I just want some answers.
I know. That's why we're doing all this, right?
So the conversation still devolves into an argument anyway, at a quicker pace. Because in the beginning it was okay. Apparently I missed this. Yeah.
Her hometown looks pretty picturesque from here, doesn't it?
You're way more attached to this place than you let on.
So, you really want to live somewhere super secluded like this? Alone in a cave, speaking for the trees?
I do. Is it really that hard to imagine?
She's lonely. She wants you to be with her, that's all.
Oh yeah? Who do you think's gonna come visit you out there, in the middle of nowhere?
Well, I was hoping you would.
But I'd rather live with you.
I wish you could have seen her. Oh, hi. I didn't see you there.
Sorry.
I'm sorry. We didn't mean to eavesdrop.
No harm done. Hey, you're that nice gal from the Becky store, Alyson, right?
Yes. And you're... It starts with a K, right?
Kendra. Don't worry. Don't expect you to keep track of everyone who passes through. And you would be...
Her brother. I'm Tyler.
Pleased to meet you, Tyler.
Hi. Oh, okay.
I hope this isn't rude, but where's that accent from?
Georgia. Born and raised. Landed in Delos about 2 years ago.
From Georgia to the middle of nowhere, Alaska. There's gotta be a story there.
Well, I wasn't planning to stay for more than a few months. And we came up for the fishing season, just like we'd done twice before. My husband, Meech, he always tried to convince me to stay on longer, but I wasn't having it. But then... well, we lost him. Fishing accident.
Oh, God. I'm so sorry. Way too many families around here have lost someone that way.
Yeah, something's gotta change. Anyway, now it's just me and my daughter, Jaina. And I just can't bring myself to pack us up and leave him here all alone.
A lot of people here probably fish as a job, because that's the only thing viable. Including the Mad Hunter.
Do you want to go back to Georgia?
Well, that's the real question, ain't it? I never used to like it here. Too cold, too quiet, like a frozen desert. Thousands of miles from family. But these days, I finally started to see it the way Meech did. All of the beauty.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I just wish it hadn't taken losing him to get me to come around. I'm realizing now I fought him more out of stubbornness than anything else.
That's gotta be hard.
Yeah. Don't ever let your own sense of what is come between you and the people you love. It's a real easy way to squander precious time.
Hear that, Alyson? Hear that, Tyler? This person's only saying this much to us because she doesn't know us. Everybody else in town would be like, oh yeah, they have it way worse. I'm not gonna tell my story.
Do you think you might stay then?
Well, my mama's been making the case that Jaina deserves to grow up with family. And she's probably right. But if I'm honest, the solitude here is a bit of a relief. I don't have to worry what 100 other people are up to, just, me and my girl. No matter which way I look at it, there just ain't a clear choice.
What do you think Jaina wants?
Well, I think she's happy to be wherever her toys are. Yeah, but when I think of how close I was to my cousins growing up, well, she may not realize she's missing out, but she will be. I probably put too much stock in chance encounters, but... You have any thoughts?
Whoa, I can't make that choice, but how about you try going around and see if you want to come back?
Maybe you could travel around a bit, see what else is out there.
Meech always wanted us to go to Cyprus. Might be nice to see that one through. Even if I do it without him.
It sounds like you've only got good options. I don't think you need to worry about making a wrong choice.
Thanks, Alyson.
I really appreciate that.
Well, we should get moving. I hope everything works out for you and your daughter.
See you around, Kendra.
You two have a good day.
You too. felt like that was getting a bit meta there. Alyson telling me, you can't make a wrong choice.
Damn. She got kind of stranded out here.
I know. And her daughter's barely 2 years old. God, those kind of accidents happen all the time. But the penalties cost less than safety upgrades, so...
So they do jack shit. Life's got a price.
Not monetarily, which is all they care about. Yeah, I think this is the last big thing I missed.
I hope I'll see you around.
See you. See you. Fishing accidents feel like it might be some kind of, foreshadowing too, but everybody fishes around here, so that's not really giving us that much information. Even Michael fishes. Yeah. Well, when we come back for Chapter 3, we'll find out what's really up.